Hello everyone, welcome to Prasad Coaching Center for Banking, SSC and CDS Bangalore. This is weekly current affairs session. In this particular session, we are going to discuss very important current affairs, that is the third week current affairs of August month. So let's not waste much time of us and move towards the first news here. And here if you observe, CCI approved proposed combination pertaining to a joint venture formation between Honda Motor and Hitachi. So CCI approved the joint venture between Honda Motor and Hitachi over here. What is the full form of CCI? CCI is the Competition Commission of India and its headquarters is in New Delhi. Chairman is Ashok Kumar Gupta. So through which Honda Motor will merge into HL, that is Hitachi, to form an integrated company. So the next news now. So here if you observe, she is Aisha Judge Haulalia. So she is the chairperson of ICRIER and she resigned and Pramod Basin joins as a new chairman over here. And what is the full form of ICRIER? It is nothing but Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relationships. So she resigned and this person, and his name is Pramod Basin, is appointed as a new chairman of this particular ICRIER. And ICRIER director and chief executive is Dr. Rajat Kathuria and its headquarters is in New Delhi. And moving towards the next news now. And here if you observe, the government has formulated an expert committee, namely, so this is the name of the committee, you have to remember, the committee name is National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration. So this is the name of the committee and it was held under the chairmanship of whom? Under the chairmanship of Dr. V.K. Paul at the Niti Aayog to consider the logistics, ethical aspects of procurement and administration of COVID-19 vaccine. And here the committee name is very important and under the chairmanship of whom is very important, Dr. V.K. Paul. And here you have to remember Niti Aayog's headquarters is in Delhi and CEO is Amitabh Kant. And heading towards the next news now. And here, according to Bloomberg Index, Mukesh Ambani becomes the fourth richest man in the world and Jeff Bezos tops the list. So here, according to which index is very important. So according to Bloomberg, Mukesh Ambani ranks fourth and the top one is Jeff Bezos. And the next now. Here, new platform was launched and the name of the platform is Transparent Taxation Honoring the Honest, and this is the name of the platform launched by our PM, that is Narendra Modi, and that provides faceless assessment and appeal and taxpayers charter as a part of direct tax reforms. And here static GK you have to remember, that is nothing but CBDT. What is CBDT? CBDT is nothing but Central Board of Direct Taxes, and who is the chairperson of CBDT? This is very important point. So chairperson is Pramod Chandra Modi. Pramod Chandra Modi is the chairperson of CBDT, that is Central Board of Direct Taxes. And moving towards the next news now. India extends an assistance of $1 million to Antigua and Barbuda to combat the global COVID-19 pandemic and to improve their health infrastructure and capacity. And here $1 million amount is very important, and $1 million of amount is granted by India to Antigua and Barbuda. And here you have to remember, Antigua Barbuda's capital is St. John's and currency is East Caribbean dollar. And moving towards the next news now. First of its kind, Katra, that is the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi Express Road Corridor. So Katra is the name of the Delhi Express Road Corridor. Works have begun and it is expected to be completed by 2023. And here question will be something like, by when it will be completed? So your answer should be 2023. This particular year you have to remember. And the next now. Supreme Court headed by Justice Arun Mishra and comprised of Justices S. Abdul Nazir and and Mukesh Kumar Rasik Baisha, daughters have equal bright right to inherit property with the retrospective effect. So here, few important things you have to remember. And if you ask me what are the important points in this particular heading, that is nothing but this Supreme Court was headed by whom? And this was something like Justice Arun Mishra, and it also comprised of two justices. Here we have two justices' name, and these two justices' name is also very important over here. And next news now. Goa's Moira bananas, Hamal chilies, and Kaji gets GI tag. And the question will be something like, recently Goa's dash gets GI tag. And your answer, all these three things you have to remember for the examination point of view. Moving towards the next news now. $25 million is granted by Abu Dhabi's Crown Prince Abu Dhabi Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and it has been granted to whom? It has been granted to expand unified championship schools to 6 countries. It is being granted to 6 countries including India to empower intellectually disabled children. And here you have to remember UAE. UAE, capital is Abu Dhabi and currency is UAE dirham. Let's move towards the next news now. And here the name of the device you have to remember. So the name of the device is Atulya, and this is a microwave device, and it is been unveiled by Nitin Gadkari. And what this device is going to do is, the device can disinfect any premises in just 30 seconds. And this has been deployed where? This has been deployed in Nagpur, Maharashtra, and it is developed by Defence Institute of Advanced Technology, that is DIAT in Pune. And the name of the device, and it is being developed by whom, is very important over here. And let's move towards the next news here. Manipur observed its Patriots Day 2020 on August 13. And the question will be something like this in your examinations. Recently, Patriotism Day 2020 was observed on August 13, and it is being observed in which state? And your answer should be Manipur. And here this day was observed to commemorate the 1891 Anglo-Manipur War, during which many people lost their lives to safeguard the independence of the state. Moving towards the next news now. The State Cabinet of Odisha approved a proposal as per Epidemic Disease Act 1897, which will enhance the penalty for violators of the COVID-19 regulations. So this is a very important news actually, according to which who violates the norms and the rules and regulations which will affect others, they will be punished with the penalty. And the cabinet state is very important, that is Odisha approved this particular thing. Let's move towards the next news now. And here new scheme was launched, and the name of the scheme is Karmasati Prakalpa. So this is the name of the scheme which is being launched by West Bengal government. And why this has been launched? This has been launched to provide soft loans and subsidies to the youth. So the name of the scheme is very important over here, and why this has been launched? To make them self-reliant. Let's move towards the next now. Goa signed a first of its kind tripartite MOU, and again tripartite MOU was signed between Goa, GIZ India and Siemens Limited. So but with these three things, tripartite MOU was signed. And why it is being signed? To provide German vocational training in ITIs. So this is the very important news you have to remember. And here you have to remember static GK, that is the Siemens Limited. Its head office is in Mumbai, and MD and CEO is Sunil Mathur. Sunil Mathur. And the next news now. On the occasion of International Youth Day, Amarinder Singh. Who is Amarinder Singh? He is the CM of Punjab, and he launched Punjab Smart Connection Scheme. So and this is the scheme for worth 92 crore rupees. And why this has been launched? To provide free smartphones for more than 1.74 lakh students. And here you have to remember International Youth Day, and this was observed on 12th August. So on 12th August, International Youth Day was observed. On the occasion of this particular day, the CM of Punjab, that is Amarinder Singh, launched Punjab Smart Collection Scheme worth 92 crore rupees. And what is the aim of this particular scheme? Is to provide free smartphones for more than 1.74 lakh students. Let's move towards the next news now. The World Left-Handers Day is observed every year on August 13th to celebrate the uniqueness and differences of southpaws, and it was first celebrated in 1976 by D.R. Campbell. So this is a very important static GK you have to remember. When was the first World Left-Handers Day celebrated? It was celebrated in 1976, and by whom it was celebrated? By Dean R. Campbell. And who is she? She is the founder of Left-Handers International Company. So let's move towards the next news now. And here August 13th is observed as World Organ Donation Day. So this is very important news you have to remember. When was the World Organ Donation Day was observed? It was observed on August 13th. And why it is been observed? To motivate people to donate organs after death and also spread awareness about the importance of organ donation. This day was celebrated on August 13th. So next news now. The part of Israel-India cooperation to fight against the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Israel shares AI-based technology, that is a high-end equipment, and this has been shared with the aims to help combat COVID-19. And here you have to remember who is the ambassador of Israel to India, that is Dr. Ron Malka. Dr. Ron Malka is the ambassador of Israel to India, and he is the person who handed over this particular equipment to the director of AIMS, that is Dr. Randeep Guleria. And here you have to remember Israel capital, that is Israel capital is Jerusalem, and currency is Israeli shekel, and PM is Benjamin Netanyahu. So this is the static GK you have to remember. Let's move towards the next slide now. And the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellites, that is a TESS of NASA, completed its primary mission of imagining 75% of starry sky during the 2-year survey and finds 66 new exoplanets and around 2,100 candidates over here. And here the name of the thing, that is the name of the mission, is very important over here. So TESS is nothing but the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, and this is the satellite of NASA. So NASA is here. NASA headquarters is in Washington DC, and administrator is Jim Bridenstine. So moving towards the next news now. Israel Defense Minister Benny Gantz announced that Israel successfully tested its Arrow-2 ballistic missile interceptor, and here missile name is very important over here. As we discussed, Israel President is Reuven, PM is Benjamin Netanyahu, capital is Jerusalem, currency is Israeli new shekel, and here the Israel's defense minister is very important over here, and the missile name is also very important. So moving towards the next slide now. This is the 40 mm under barrel grenade launcher, that is nothing but UBGL, and this was handed over to BSF, that is the Border Security Force, which is designed and it is manufactured by AFK, that is Ammunition Factory Khadki, which is situated in Pune, Maharashtra. So this is the very important news you have to remember over here. And here the name of the barrel is very important. It is nothing but 40 mm under barrel grenade launcher, that is UBGL. Moving towards the next news now. Federal Bank and Finserv is partnered to support the launch of their first independent credit card. The name of the independent credit card is very important. The name of the credit card is Federal Bank Credit Card. So Federal Bank headquarters is in Aluva, Kerala. MD and CEO is Shyam Srinivasan and its tagline is Your Perfect Banking Partner. Moving towards the next news now. RBI has mandated Urban Cooperative Bank, that is UCBs, with the assets which is having or above 2000 crore rupees as on March 31st, 2020 to implement system-based asset classification from 30th June 2021. And here you have to remember RBI's headquarters. So RBI's headquarters is in Mumbai and governor is Shaktikant Das. Shaktikant Das is the governor of RBI. This is very important news. RBI has mandated urban cooperative banks which is having the assets of more than 2000 crore rupees to implement the system-based asset classification from 30th June 2021. Moving towards the next news here. The governing board of NHA, that is the National Health Authority, approved the proposal to integrate the existing health schemes of the central ministers with the ABPMJAY. That is nothing but Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. And NHA, that is the National Health Authority, headquarters is in Delhi and the CEO is Hindu Bhushan. Hindu Bhushan is the CEO of NHA. Moving towards the next news here. MOU was signed between the Government of India and the Republic of Nigeria at the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, which is headquartered at Abuja, Nigeria. And here you have to remember one static GK, that is the Nigeria President is Muhammad Buhari, capital is Abuja, currency is Nigerian Naira. And here you have to remember the question will be asked something like MOU was signed between Government of India and dash at the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, which is headquartered at Nigeria, and your answer should be Republic of Nigeria. And moving towards the next news now. India has granted $250 million as a budgetary support and $500 million for 6.7 kilometer greater mail connectivity project during a virtual conversation between India's Union Minister of External Affairs, that is Jaishankar, and Maldivian counterpart Abdullah Shahid. So here the amount is very important. Actually, India is granting two amounts. One is $250 million as a budgetary support and one more is $500 million for the 6.7 kilometer greater mail connectivity project. And Maldives capital is Mail, currency is Maldivian Rupiah, president is Ibrahim Mohammed Soli. Moving towards the next news now. India aims to achieve zero road fatalities by 2030, and this has been stated by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari. Who is the Union Minister? Who is Nitin Gadkari? He is the Union Minister responsible for the road transport and highways. And one more thing you have to remember over here. World Bank and Asian Development Bank have committed 7,000 crore rupees each on this particular initiative to reduce the road accidents. So these two particular bank names you have to remember, and the amount is very important over here. And moving towards the next news now. Odisha retains top position in the implementation of Amrut scheme. So your question will be something like, which state tops in the implementation of Amrut scheme? And your answer should be Odisha. And what is the full form of Amrut over here? Amrut is nothing but Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. And heading towards the next news here. As per the latest report, so this is the name of the report you have to remember. Progress on drinking water, sanitation and hygiene in schools, special focus on COVID-19. So this is the name of the report which is released by WHO and UNICEF. So according to which 818, that is 818 million children across the world lacked basic hand washing facilities in their schools, which makes them prone to the novel coronavirus disease. And here you have to remember UNICEF is there, and UNICEF headquarters is in New York, and executive director is Henrietta Holzman IV. Henrietta Holzman IV. And here WHO is there, that is the World Health Organization, and its headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland, and Director General is Tedros Adhanom. And moving towards the next news now. The European Union will provide 1.65 million euros in humanitarian aid funding to support flood victims of South Asia, most notably in Bangladesh, Nepal and India. So amount is very important over here. So that is 1.65 million euros will be granted by EU, that is European Union, for the flood victims of South Asia. And here European Union headquarters is in Brussels, Belgium. President is David Maria Sassoli. And moving towards the next news now. FEWS. So it is nothing but Flood Early Warning System. It is the name of the web tool which is launched by TERI, which is nothing but the Energy and Resource Institution in association with NDMA, that is the National Disaster Management Authority, and this has been launched in Guwahati, Assam. So here you have to remember this particular thing. FEWS, that is the Flood Early Warning System, is a automated web-based tool which is launched by the Energy and Resources Institute in association with National Disaster Management Authority. Moving towards the next news now. Delhi government signed MOU with the Bloomberg Philanthropies to enhance the road safety. And your question should be, or it will be something like, to enhance the road safety, MOU was signed between Bloomberg Philanthropies with which government? And your answer should be Delhi government. And why it is being done? To reduce the deaths and injuries from the road traffic crashes. And moving towards the next slide now. And here the name of the scheme is very important over here. So the name of the scheme is Orunodai. So this is the name of the scheme which is launched by Assam government, and this has been launched to provide financial assistance to around 17 lakh families in the state. So next news now. He is Chunakara Raman Kuti, and he is the veteran Malayalam actor, and he is a poet and he is a drama writer, and he passed away recently, and his name is very important, and his name is Chunakara Raman Kuti. So the name of the person is very important over here. Moving towards the next news here. IIT Delhi found WHO listed priority pathogens in the waters of River Yamuna. And your question will be something like, IIT Delhi found WHO listed priority pathogens in the water of dash, and your answer should be River Yamuna. So here the name of the river is very important. And moving towards the next here. IIT Ropa, in collaboration with Momentum India Private Limited, and developed UV Safe. So this is the name of the device. It is the state-of-the-art room disinfection device. It is based on the singular ultraviolet germicidal irradiation. So here your question will be something like, UV Safe was developed by dash, and your answer should be IIT Ropar in collaboration with Momentum India Private Limited. Moving towards the next news here. Indian Institute of Astrophysics, that is IIA Bangalore, which is an autonomous institute which is under the Department of Science and Technology, discovered helium-enhanced cool bright star among the metal-rich samples of globular cluster, that is Omega Centauri. So here the globular cluster name is very important, and the name of the institute is very important, that is IIA, that is Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Let's move towards the next news now. offshore patrol vessel of ICG, that is Indian Coast Guard, launched Sarthak. So this is manufactured by Goa Shipyard Limited. So the name of the vessel and the shipyard name is very important over here. So Sarthak is the name of the vessel. So this is the very important name you have to remember, and this is being manufactured by Goa Shipyard Limited. And moving towards the next news now. And he is Harbhajan Singh, as everybody know, and he is Indian cricketer, and he's been appointed as the brand ambassador of e-bike Go. So recently he's been appointed as the ambassador of e-bike Go. Moving towards the next news here. Former RBI Deputy Governor. He is Subhash Sharathan Mudra. So this particular name is very important. He was the former RBI Deputy Governor and now appointed as the non-executive chairman of India Bulls Housing Finance Limited. And India Bulls headquarters is in Gurugram. Headquarters is in Gurugram. And this headquarter is very important over here, and this particular person's name is very important. Moving towards the next news now. SBI has launched KCC. What is the full form of KCC? Kisan Credit Card Review option on its digital agriculture solution platform, that is YONO. What is the full form of YONO? You only need one. So this is the solution platform. This is the digital platform of SBI on which SBI has launched KCC review option. So farmers will no longer visit the bank branch to apply for KCC. They can apply in virtual platform. And here SBI headquarters is in Mumbai. Chairperson is Rajnish Kumar. Moving towards the next news here. HDFC Bank virtually launched Shaurya KGC card. So the name of the card is very important. Earlier we came across one more thing, that is the KCC review option which was launched by SBI. But this is the name of the card, that is the Shaurya KGC card. And this has been launched by HDFC Bank. And why it is being done? It is the first of its kind card for the Indian Armed Forces. So this has been launched for the purpose of Indian Armed Forces. HDFC headquarters is in Mumbai. Chairman is Deepak S. Parekh. Tagline is "We understand your world." So this is the tagline of HDFC. And here the name of the card is very important. So let's move towards the next slide here. RBI has revised the guidelines applicable for the core investment companies constituted under the chairmanship of Tapan Ray. Who is the Tapan Ray? He was the former secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So here you have to remember few things. Here under the chairmanship of whom is very important. So under the chairmanship of Tapan Ray. So he was the former secretary of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So the core investment company, this is the constitute name or the company name is very important, and this is constituted under the chairmanship of whom is very important over here. So let's move towards the next now. To boost the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, Rajnath Singh virtually launched the Department of Defence Production Portal. So that is DDP portal, that is Department of Defence Production Portal, Srijan. So this is the name of the portal you have to remember as a part of opportunities for Make in India in Defence. And here if you observe, this was done on the final day of Atmanirbhar Week celebration, which was celebrated between 7th August to 14th August. So on the final day of this particular week, this was announced. So the name of the portal is very important, that is Department of Defence Production Portal, that is Srijan. Let's move towards the next news here. Niti Aayog's AIM and NASSCOM launched ETL Artificial Intelligence Step Up modules. So this has been launched for the school students to empower the youngest minds and drive innovations in the country to the next level. And here if you observe, Niti Aayog is there. Niti Aayog's CEO is Amitabh Kant, and its headquarters is in Delhi. So let's move towards the next news now. India's 74th Independence Day 2020 is observed on August 15. So I think this news is very important, as we all know the edition is very important over here. So this is the 74th Independence Day 2020 and it is observed on August 15. This is the very important and we know this very well. Let's move towards the next news now. This is the name of the book titled A Bend in Time, Writings by the Children on the COVID-19 Pandemic. So the name of the book is very important over here and this is being written by whom? This is being written by award-winning children's author, that is Bijal Vacharajani. So the book is published by Talking Club. So moving towards the next news now. Team of researchers of IISC, that is Indian Institute of Science Bangalore, and ISRO developed a sustainable process for making brick-like structure named space bricks. So this is the name of the brick you have to remember on the surface of the moon. So this is developed for the purpose of, this is being developed for the sustainable process for making a brick-like structures, and the name of the brick is very important. The name of the brick is a space brick which is on the surface of the moon. And here if you ask me what is the important point to remember, ISRO is over here. So ISRO's headquarters is in Bangalore and chairman is K. Sivan. And moving towards the next news now. ISRO announced that Chandrayaan-2 has captured the images of crater of the moon by terrain mapping camera, that is TMC-2, and named one of the craters as Sarabhai crater after Indian astrophysicist Dr. Vikram Ambalal Sarabhai, who is regarded as the father of Indian space program. And here the camera name is very important, that is terrain mapping camera 2. So the camera name is very important and the crater name is very important over here. So they said they named one of the crater as Sarabhai crater. So the name of the crater is very important over here. So let's move towards the next now. He is Shahzan Mujib and he is the singer. He becomes the first brand ambassador of Aligarh Municipal Corporation's Swachh Bharat Abhiyan campaign. So he is recently appointed as the brand ambassador of this particular campaign and he is basically a singer. Let's move towards the next news now. That was the 584th meeting of RBI under the chairmanship of Governor Shaktikant Das, and they approved the transfer of 57,128 crore rupees dividend to the central government, and the board also decided to maintain the contingency risk buffer at 5.5%. So the meeting, it was the which edition meeting is very important, and this was under the chairmanship of whom is very important over here. And edition, as I told, is very important, and here amount and the CRB percentage is also very important in this particular news. So let's move towards the next now. Modi gave his 7th consecutive Independence Day speech during 74th Independence Day from the Delhi and focused on the themes of. So here he basically, he was talking on basically about 3 themes. So the name of the 3 themes are very important. The 3 themes are Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is the self-reliant India, vocal for local, and make in India to make for world. So the 3 particular theme name is very important over here. So moving towards the next now. CM of Madhya Pradesh, that is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, announced that Gwalior-Chambal Expressway will be named as Shri Atal Bihar Vajpayee Chambal Progressway. And your question will be something like this in your examinations. So which expressway or which road or which highway is named as Atal Bihari Vajpayee Chambal Progressway? And your answer should be Gwalior-Chambal Expressway. So let's move towards the next news here. So, Northeast Frontier Railway Zone. So, the name of the railway zone is very important, and they constructing the world's tallest pier bridge having a height of 141 meters across the river Ichai in the Manipur with the outlay of 280 crore rupees. And here like over which river this has been constructing is very important. That is on the across the river Ichai, and this particular meters is also very important over here. So let's move towards the next news now. It is the 7-month-long anti-drugs campaign, and the name of the campaign is Nasha Mukt Bharat, or we can also call it as Drug Free India. And this is the campaign which is launched by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and it will run till March 31st, 2021. So this is the 6-month-long campaign, and the name of the campaign you have to remember. So let's move towards the next now. UK launched €3 million Innovation Challenge Fund for India to tackle COVID-19 challenges and climate change. And here amount is very important. And UK is there. UK capital is London. Currency is Euro. And Prime Minister is Alexander Boris de Johnson. Moving towards the next news now. India Post issued 5 commemorative postage stamps and 1 miniature sheet consisting of all the stamps on UNESCO World Heritage Site in India 3. So the name of the site is very important over here. That is UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India 3. So moving towards the next now. Piyush Goyal virtually inaugurated the 4th edition of National Public Procurement Conclave, that is NTPC 2020, Digital Exhibitions and Conference. So the edition is very important over here, and the theme is very important. What is the theme of this particular thing? Technology-enabled government procurement towards efficiency, transparency and inclusiveness. And this has been inaugurated by whom? It has been inaugurated by Piyush Goyal. So let's move towards the next now. And here if you observe, Ayush for Immunity is a 3-month-long campaign which is launched by Ministry of Ayush. So this has been launched by Ministry of Ayush. Why it is been launched? So this has been launched through webinar which aims to increase awareness about affordable and easy practices to boost the immunity. So the name of the campaign is very important, and it's been launched by whom is very important. Actually, if you just observe, the name of the campaign is Ayush for Immunity, and it is being launched by Ministry of Ayush. So both like the ministry and the campaign name includes Ayush. So this is very easy to remember, right? So let's move towards the next now. Here if you observe, he is Kiren Rijiju, and he is the Union Minister responsible for the Youth Affairs and Sports, and he launched countrywide event. So the name of the event is Fit India Freedom Run. So this is launched from August 15th to October 2. And moving towards the next now. On the occasion of 74th Independence Day, CM of Meghalaya launched Restart Meghalaya Mission. So this is the name of the mission you have to remember, and it is worth 14,515 crore rupees to revive the development activities which was stalled due to the COVID-19 pandemic over here. And here you have to remember one static GK. Shillong of Meghalaya is known as Scotland of East. Moving towards the next news now. This is the name of the scheme, that is Padai Tuhar Phara. So this is the name of the scheme which is launched by Chhattisgarh CM, that is Bhupesh Baghel. So why it has been launched? To enable school students to learn from the respective localities as the classes are being suspended due to the outbreak of coronavirus. And moving towards the next news now. So this is the name of the new book, that is the Full Spectrum India's Was 1972 to 2020. So this is the name of the new book title, and this has been authored by whom? This has been authored by ex-Air Vice Marshal, that is Arjun Subramaniam. Moving towards the next news now. So she is Sharon Stone. She is Hollywood actor, and she announces the release of her memoir, that is The Beauty of Living Twice. So this is the name of the memoir which is to be released recently by the Sharon Stone in March 2021. So the name of the memoir is very important, The Beauty of Living Twice. Moving towards the next news now. He is Chetan Chauhan, and he is Arjuna Awardee, UP Cabinet Minister, and he was also former Indian cricketer, and he passed away due to COVID-19 recently. Moving towards the next news now. He is Mercedes Lewis Hamilton and he claimed 156th podium with a victory in Spanish Grand Prix. So he also won this Spanish Grand Prix and Lewis Hamilton holds the record for the most podium finishes in F1 history, surpassing the former F1 great Michael Schumacher's record. So he already surpassed this particular record and he holds the record for the most podium finishes in the F1. So he is the Mercedes Lewis Hamilton. Moving towards the next news now. So here Indian cricketers MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina retired from the international cricket. Obviously this is the very sad news for the Indians, but still we have to accept this. So this is the very important news you have to remember. Dhoni and Suresh Raina retired recently from the international cricket. Moving towards the next news now. The astronomers at the Max Planck Institute of Astrophysics found a baby galaxy. So the name of the baby galaxy is SPTO 41847. So this is the name of the baby galaxy, which looks like a Milky Galaxy at 12 billion light years away using the telescope. So the name of the telescope is very important, that is ALMA, which is nothing but Atacama Large Millimeter or Sub-Millimeter Array. And here the institute name is very important, the name of the baby galaxy is very important, and the name of the telescope is very important over here. And here if you just observe, galaxy appears perfectly ring-like Einstein ring. So let's move towards the next news now. On the occasion of 74th Independence Day, the All India Football Federation, that is EIFF, and the SAI, that is the Sports Authority of India, jointly launched ePathshala. What is this particular thing? It is the web platform to recognize the creativity of the children and to develop their interest in football. And here few static GK you have to remember, that is EIFF, which means All India Football Federation. President is Praful Patel, headquarters is in Delhi. SAI is nothing but Sports Authority of India. Director General is Sandeep Pradhan, Executive Director is Anjan Kumar Mishra, and its head office is in Delhi. So let's move towards the next news now. So the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB, formed a 5-member panel which is headed by Captain S.S. Chahar to investigate the circumstances of Air India Express Dubai Calicut flight crash at Kozhikode Airport, Kerala. And here now 5-member team will probe and determine the cause and the factors which led to air crash. So this particular thing is very important over here. So AAIB is nothing but Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, and this forms a 5-member panel which is headed by the Captain S.S. Chahar. So let's move towards the next news now. Google is associated with CWC. CWC is nothing but Central Water Commission of India and launched the flood forecasting initiatives across India for the past several months. So CWC is over here and this headquarters is in Seva Bhavan, Delhi. And chairman is Rajendra Kumar Jain. Rajendra Kumar Jain. So moving towards the next slide. And here the name of the campaign is very important, that is nothing but Digital Apnayan. So this is the name of the campaign and it is being launched by SS Mallikarjuna Rao. Who is SS Mallikarjuna Rao? He is the MD and CEO of PNB, that is the Punjab National Bank. And why this campaign has been launched? To encourage the customers to use digital banking channels and participate in the noble cause of donating to PM CARES Fund for COVID-19. And here if you just observe, PNB is there. PNB headquarters is in Delhi. Tagline is very important. The tagline of this particular bank is the name you can bank upon. So let's move towards the next now. Here renaming of Mandodhya railway station in Uttar Pradesh as Banaras. So this particular news is very important over here. So this has been renamed as Banaras and it is being got approved by the Ministry of Home Affairs. So previously it was as Mandudhiya railway station and from now it will be called as Banaras. So moving towards the next news now. President Ramnath Kovind amended the GOI, that is the Government of India Allocation of Business Rules 1961 by GOI, that is the Government of India Allocation of Business 356th Amendment Rule 2020, and he also amended the changing the name of the Ministry of MHRD, that is the Human Resource Development, as the Ministry of Education. So here Ramnath Kovind, the President of India, amended two things. All these two things are very important over here. So moving towards the next news now. India and UAE hold 13th session of India-UAE Joint Commission meeting on trade, economic and technical cooperation. And the edition is very important over here. UAE capital is Abu Dhabi. President is Khalifa bin Zayed and PM is Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and currency is UAE dirham. So moving towards the next news here. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and the Farmers' Welfare, India ranked first in number of organic farmers and India ranked 9th in terms of area under organic farmers. So this is very important, you have to remember. So according to which ministry is very important over here. So India ranks first in organic farmers and it ranks 9th in area under organic farming. So these two things is very important over here. So let's move towards the next now. So before that, here you have to remember few static GK, and here we discussed according to which ministry this is being given. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, right? And who is the Union Minister responsible for this? He is nothing but Narendra Singh Tomar. Narendra Singh Tomar is the Union Minister responsible for the Agriculture and the Farmer Welfare, and the Minister of State is Parshottambai Rupala. Parshottambai Rupala. So he is the Minister of State responsible for the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So moving towards the next now. Dr. Harshvardhan. Who is Harshvardhan? He is the Union Minister responsible for the health and the family welfare, and he inaugurated India Healthcare Week. So the name of the week is very important and the theme is very important, redefining healthcare ecosystem, and this is being launched from 17th August to 21st August 2020. So let's move towards the next news here. Israel and UAE agreed for the peace agreement, namely Abraham Accord. So the name of the agreement is very important. That is nothing but Abraham Accord. And Abraham Accord is being agreed by which two countries? UAE and Israel. And here you have to remember few static GK. Israel capital is Jerusalem, currency is Israeli shekel. UAE capital is Abu Dhabi, currency is UAE dirham. So let's move towards the next news here. She is Soumya Swaminathan and she is a chief scientist at WHO, that is the World Health Organization, and she received Tamil Nadu CM's Special Award on the 74th Independence Day celebration in the recognition for her advisory role in combating the COVID-19 pandemic in the state. So the name of the person is very important and her role is very important. Soumya Swaminathan, who is a chief scientist at WHO, has been awarded with this particular thing, that is Tamil Nadu CM's Special Award. So let's move towards the next now. BCCI has awarded the title sponsorship rights of IPL, that is the Indian Premier League 2022 Fantasy Cricket League platform, that is Dream 11. So Dream 11 hold the title sponsorship rights of IPL 2020 and it is being granted by BCCI. Let's move towards the next now. So new state emblem was introduced by Draupadi Murmu, who is governor of Jharkhand, and Hemant Soren, who is the CM, that is the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. And these two people introduced the new state emblem at the Aryabhatta Auditorium, Ranchi. So this is the very important news you have to remember. Your question will be something like, recently one state introduced its new state emblem, and the name of the state you have to answer over this. So the name of the state is Jharkhand, and it is being launched at Aryabhatta Auditorium, Ranchi. So let's move towards the next news here. He is Arun Jaitley and she is Sushma Swaraj, as you can observe in this particular picture. And Gujarat names two flyovers of Ahmedabad after the late Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj. And your question will be definitely like, which state names the two flyovers as after late Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj? And your answer should be Gujarat. So let's move towards the next now. If you just observe the particular picture, what we have here, he is Anil Mukim. So, who is he? He is 29th Gujarat Chief Secretary, and the central government has approved the proposal of the Gujarat government to extend the tenure of this particular person for further 6 months. So, the name of the person is very important over here, Anil Mukim. And he is the 29th Gujarat Chief Secretary. Not the Chief Minister, he is the Chief Secretary of Gujarat. So let's move towards the next now. He is Russell Critch and he is the inventor of Pixel, and he is the computer scientist, and he passed away recently. Moving towards the next. She is Angela Buxton, the former British tennis player, and she is the two-time Grand Slam doubles champion, and she is also equal rights pioneer, and she passed away recently. And the name of the person is very important, Angela Buxton. So moving towards the next slide here. He is Pandit Jasraj. Who is he? He is Hindustani classical vocalist, and he was also Padma Shri awardee, and he passed away recently. Moving towards the next. She is England cricketer and her name is Laura March, and she announced the retirement recently. So she is England cricketer. So the name of the person is very important over here. So moving towards the next news here, Arjun Munda. Who is Arjun Munda? He is the Union Minister responsible for the tribal affairs, and he inaugurated the first of its kind e-portal. So the name of the e-portal is very important, that is SATYA. So why this has been launched? It is for the tribal health and the nutrition portal. So moving towards the next news now, he is Rohit Sharma. He is the Indian team vice captain, and he's been appointed as the brand ambassador of sports highwear brand Oakley. So from now, Oakley's brand ambassador will be our Indian team vice captain Rohit Sharma, and he is being appointed for the period of 2 years in India. So let's move towards the next news here. TBS Bank India Limited has appointed Prashant Joshi as the MD and head of national distribution. And here you have to remember DBS is there and its headquarters is in Mumbai. MD and CEO is Surojit Shah. So let's move towards the next news. He is Rakesh Asthana, and he is the IPS officer who is recently appointed as the Director General of BSF, that is the Border Security Force. And Border Security Force headquarters is in Delhi. Director General is Rakesh Asthana from now, and he is the IPS officer. So let's move towards the next. Ramnath Kovind. Who is Ramnath Kovind? He is the President of India, and he appointed Satyapal Malik, who is the Goa Governor, as the Governor of Meghalaya, and Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari was given the additional charge as Governor of Goa. So here two appointments are there, you have to remember and observe very clearly. Satyapal Malik, earlier he was the Governor of Goa, But now he is appointed as the governor of Meghalaya. As he was appointed as the governor of Meghalaya, governor of Goa post is empty. So what government did is the Bhagat Singh Koshyari, who was the governor of Maharashtra, is taken additional charge as the governor of Goa over here. So this is the GK. This is the static GK you have to remember. Actually, the thing is like the governor and the CM of every state is not important. But if any like new appointments are there, if anybody resigned, then that will be very important for the examination point of view. So let's move towards the next now. He is Akshay Kumar, as we all know. As per the Forbes list of highest paid actors for the year 2020, Bollywood actor, that is Akshay Kumar, ranked 6th. And Dwayne Johnson tops the list. So Akshay Kumar's rank and who tops the list is very important over here. So let's move towards the next. Muthoot Finance partnered with Kotak Mahindra General Insurance, and why this partnership has been done? It is been done to offer COVID-19 insurance cover against the gold loan. And here you have to remember one more point, that is this cover will be available only for the customers who avail the gold loan from the Muthoot. And this here we have a static GK which is very important. Muthoot Finance is there and its headquarters or the head office is in Kochi, Kerala. Chairman is George Muthoot. MD is George Alexander Muthoot, and Kotak Mahindra headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. MD and CEO is Mahesh Balasubramanian. So let's move towards the next now. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu virtually announced ERIIA 2020 results, and IIT Madras topped among the institutes of national importance. IIT Bombay Mumbai and IIT Delhi ranked 2nd and 3rd respectively. So here you have to remember one thing. So the name of the unit is very important. So the name of the unit is ERIIA. So this is the very important thing you have to remember. So according to this, the first is IIT Madras, second is IIT Bombay, and the third is IIT Delhi. And it is being announced by whom? It is being announced by the Vice President of India, that is Venkaiah Naidu. So let's move towards the next now. MOU was signed between All India Institute of Ayurveda, that is AIIA, and Delhi Police for extending Ayurvedic mode of preventive health services in the residential colonies of the Delhi Police and through mobile units named Dhanvantari Rath. So this is the name of the mobile unit. So the name of the unit is very important, and very important thing is this is being supported by Ayush. So this is being supported by Ayush. So Ayush, the Minister of State responsible for this particular thing is Shripad Yesso Nayak. So the MOU was signed between Delhi Police and All India Institute of Ayurveda. So the mobile unit name, that is Dhanvantari Rath, is very important over here. So let's move towards the next. So this is the name of the new challenge. So the name of the challenge is Swadeshi Microprocessor Challenge, Innovate Solution for Atmanirbhar Bharat. So this is the name of the challenge which is launched by Ravi Shankar Prasad. Who is Ravi Shankar Prasad? He is the Union Minister responsible for the law and justice, communications and electronics and IT. So he launched this particular challenge, and why this has been launched? To support the startups. So moving towards the next, Ministry of Tribal Affairs and the Ministry of Rural Development MOU was signed, and why it is being done? To take the convergence endeavor ahead. So moving towards the next. Here new MOU was signed between AIFF and IPSO. What is AIFF? All India Football Federation. What is IPSO? International Professional Scouting Organization. So why the MOU was signed? To conduct the online scouting workshops throughout the India. This is being done, and here AIFF is there, and this headquarters is in Delhi. President is Praful Patel. So moving towards the next, ILO. What is ILO? ILO is nothing but International Labour Organization, and ADB is there. What is ADB? ADB is the Asian Development Bank. So these two particular things release the joint report titled. So the name of the title is very important. tackling the COVID-19 youth employment crisis in Asia and the Pacific. So the name of the report is very important, which stated that due to COVID-19 pandemic, around 41 lakh youths have lost their jobs in India. So ILO and ADB is very important over here. ADB president is Masatsugu Asakawa. Its headquarters is in Manila, Philippines. ILO, that is the International Labour Organization, Director General is Guy Ryder and headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. So moving towards the next. Defense Institute of Advanced Technology, that is DIAT, has developed Ayurvedic based biodegradable face mask named Pavitrapati and antimicrobial bodysuit named Aushadha Thara. So here two things you have to remember. One is the name of the face mask, that is Pavitrapati, and the name of the bodysuit, that is Aushadha Thara. So let's move towards the next now. As per the Ministry of Health and the Family Welfare, Punjab gets the first rank in Health Welfare Center and operationalization. And your question will be something like, which state ranked the first in Health Welfare Center and its operationalization? And your answer should be Punjab. And according to whom? According to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Moving towards the next. World Photography Day was observed on August 19th to inspire the photographers. This day is celebrated worldwide. So August 19th is celebrated as World Photography Day. And here if you just observe, United Nations 11th World Humanitarian Day, that is WH3, is announced or observed annually on 19th August. And why this day is celebrated annually on this particular day is to pay tribute to all humanitarians who dedicated their lives to help the people who was in extreme circumstances around the world and who lost their lives in the cause of the duty. For particular persons, this day is celebrated on 19th August. So this is very important, and United Nations is there. Its headquarters is in New York and Secretary General is Antonio Guterres. So let's move towards the next. And here the name of the new book, that is The Disloyal, the true story of the former personal attorney to President Donald J. Trump. So this is the name of the new book, which is the memoir about the President Donald Trump, and this is being authored by whom? So this is authored by Michael Cohen and it is published by Skyhorse. So the name of the book is very important over here. So let's move towards the next. He is Nishikant Kamath and he is the filmmaker and he is the very famous actor and he passed away recently. So moving towards the next, Indian Railways introduced drone-based surveillance system for the railway security. So why this has been done? So this is emerged as a very important and the cost-effective tool for the security purpose over a large area with the limited manpower. This has been done. Let's move towards the next now. Mali President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita. So this is the name of the President of Mali and he announced his resignation with the immediate effect following the military mutiny in the Republic of Mali. So why this has been done? Why he announced his resignation soon after military mutiny? Because there was a protest going on against him for the refusal to raise the wages of the teachers and to raise the wages of the doctors, and he was also a corruptist. So what the people did is, there was a protest against him. So soon after the protest, he resigned. And here you have to remember Mali's capital is Bamako, currency is West African CFA rank. So these are the strategic, which is very important. And your question will be something like this in your examinations. So which country's president announced their resignation immediately effect following a military mutiny? And your answer should be Republic of Mali. So let's move towards the next news. So observe the picture what we have in this particular slide. He is Ashok Lavasa. Who is he? He is one of the 2 election commissioners of India and he resigned from his post in order to take charge as the Vice President of ADB, that is the Asian Development Bank, in the next month. And here name of the person is very important, and here you have to remember static GK. And what are the static GK we have to remember over here? So Election Commission of India is there, and here it is headed by one Chief Election Commission and two Election Commission. So observe properly. Election Commission of India is headed by one Chief Election Commission and two Election Commission. And who are they? So one Chief Election Commission, that is Sunil Arora, is now serving as the Chief Election Commission of India, and the two election commissioners are Sushil Chandra, and one more is vacant as Ashok Lavasa resigned to take charge as a Vice President of ADB recently. So let's move towards the next. He is Luis Rodolfo Abinader Corona, and he is being sworn in as the 54th President of Dominican Republic. So the particular country's name, capital, currency is very important. Capital is Santo Domingo, currency is Dominican Peso. So moving towards the next. He is Ganesh Vilas Lengar, and he is the Solapur based activist, and he is awarded with the Star 2020 Citation certification, and this has been given by World Book of Records London. And why this has been given? For his efforts to help the poor people during the lockdown caused by coronavirus. So the name of the person, that is the Ganesh Vilas Lengar, is very important over here. So moving towards the next. St. Christopher School in Nagaland won the first ever Pallikuttam National Award for the innovation in the education. Your question will be like, which school is awarded as the Pallikuttam National Award for their innovation in the education? And your answer should be St. Christopher School in Nagaland. Moving towards the next. His bank is partnered with Caffeine Technologies and launched loan against securities. Question will be like this. Loan against security was launched by S Bank partnered with Dash. Your answer should be Caffeine Technologies, and why this has been done? To provide the complete digital loan against the mutual fund. And here you have to remember S Bank headquarters is in Mumbai, MD and CEO is Prashant Kumar. So Caffeine is there. So Caffeine headquarters is in Hyderabad, CEO is Shrikant Natela. Moving towards the next news here. Edelweiss Tokyo Life Insurance Company Limited partnered with Element AI. What is Element AI? It's a global developer of AI-powered solutions and products. And why this has been done? To develop, design and implement static AI, that is artificial intelligence roadmap for the new age insurer and their investments to artificial intelligence. And here you have to remember few static GK. Edelweiss Tokyo Life Insurance Company Limited headquarters is in Mumbai, MD and CEO is Sumit Rai. And Element AI is there, and its headquarters is in Canada, CEO is Jean-Francois Gogni. So let's move towards the next. Universal Sompo General Insurance Company Limited collaborated with BSE IBPS. And why it is being done? To sell the general insurance products in a fully digital environment using the distribution network of BSE IBPS. This has been done. So Sompo General Insurance Company headquarters is in Mumbai. CEO is Sharath Mathur. Moving towards the next. Here Fino Payment Bank Limited launched Jan Bachat Khata, that is JBK. It is an Aadhaar authentication based digital saving account for its customers. Fino Bank is there, and its headquarters is in Mumbai. MD and CEO is Rishi Gupta. So this is how you have to prepare for static GK. So let's move towards the next. Bharati AXA Life Insurance entered into bank assurance partnership with the SBI Bank India. Question will be like, which bank recently entered into a bank assurance with the Bharati AXA? And your answer should be SBM Bank India. SBM is there, and its headquarters is in Mumbai. MD and CEO is Siddharth Rath. So Bharati AXA is there, and this headquarters is in Mumbai. MD and CEO is Parag Raja. Moving towards the next. RBI released a draft framework. So RBI has released two frameworks, that is the grant of recognition to an industry association as a self-regulatory organization for the payment system operators, and one more framework name is framework for the authorization of pan-India umbrella entity for the retail payment. So the name of the frameworks is very important, and this has been released by RBI. RBI headquarters is in Mumbai and the governor is Shaktikant Das. So let's move towards the next, and this is the last point and the last news for the day. So ADB, that is the Asian Development Bank, has approved $1 billion loan to construct the modern high-speed 82-kilometer Delhi-Meerut Uttar Pradesh Regional Rapid Transit System, that is RRTS in India. What is RRTS? Regional Rapid Transit System, and this is like Delhi to Meerut, which is in Uttar Pradesh. So this is being constructed by India, and the loan is granted by whom? So $1 billion loan is granted by ADB, that is Asian Development Bank. And here you have to remember ADB headquarters. ADB headquarters is in Manila, Philippines, and president is Masatsugu Asakawa. So he is the president of ADB. So RRTS is very important. What is RRTS? Regional Rapid Transit System in India. So ADB is providing how much amount? $1 billion loan to construct this particular RRTS in India. So we are done with our today's session. In this particular session, we discussed very important news, that is the news of the 3rd week of August month, which is very important for the upcoming examinations like RRBs and IBPS PO examinations. So hope this session is useful. I will come up with the next week current affairs in my next session. If you are liking the session, please like and share with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube and Telegram channel. Thank you and have a good day.